Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us for our Learning Hub webinar and demo that we'll be having this morning. We are just waiting for a few last people to log on, so I'm just going to run through a few things quickly while I've got you on the line. We do have a PDF of the slides already available in the attachments, which you can download, and a recording of the session will be available at the end. If you do have any questions, if you could please save them to the end, and we will answer them at the end of the presentation. Please feel free to ask your questions throughout the presentation, but we will get to them at the end. And then today on the line we do have Peter Anderson, who is the Solution Principal from SAP Education. And he'll be going through obviously the Learning Hub as well as the demo for us today. Peter, if you'd like to take the floor.
Thank you, Robin. Hello everybody, thank you very much for joining the session today. As Robin mentioned, I am a Solution Principal with SAP Education EMEA, providing solution consulting expertise to both internal and external customers across our SAP Education solution portfolio. We offer a comprehensive consulting and software portfolio of related things, which cover three core pillars. So the management of content, so our learning management systems, the content itself, such as accelerated documentation tools, and of course the Learning Hub, and also the evaluation space. So this represents the business market of SAP Education. So comprehensive learning for digital transformation. So I just have a few slides and then we'll go straight into a demo of the Learning Hub platform. But learning is changing, and as SAP in the workplace is changing, we have multiple generations in the workplace, including our new Generation Z, who are a mobile-first generation. There's expectations for consumer-grade software and systems experience, and they are accustomed to being connected, and they expect to be connected also in the workplace. They want access to communities and anytime, anywhere learning. We also see the accelerating rate of change in technology and the huge focus on innovation with applications such as in-memory computing, big data, the Internet of Things and analytics, and also running live to leverage technology and data supporting our instant decision-making processes. This requires us to connect people, processes and other things to perform and complete system tasks. SAP HANA with the processes within the S4 HANA application business suite, Ariba, SuccessFactors, Cloud for Customer, and other systems from the digital core that is enabling digital transformation. These underlying processes run through our businesses and beyond the business, connecting and forming the digital core that makes sense of everything. Without this core and the SAP HANA platform, our Internet of Things, and the big data in memory, we would not be able to bring such value to our customers. As business transforming at a fast rate, we also need to transform the way that we learn and the way that we support learning for our customers who are embarking on their digital transformation journey. They need to learn faster to keep up with rapid changes. There's also more and more to know. So they need to learn continuously, and so we must support convenient, anytime, anywhere learning. We must also support our community and social learning to help customers learn ahead, understand and adopt upcoming technology and business innovation. So multi-generational workforces and a world full of change, as I'm sure we're all very much aware. The current workforce is unusual in as much as we have multiple generations to deal with at the same time, and this picture tells a story. We have the baby boomer businessman with his suit and his hat and paper-based systems. Generation X, he's lost his hat, he's pepped up his suit and he's got himself a computer. We have the millennials, Generation Y, with the rise of women in the workforce, also senior positions and the advent of the laptop. Generation Z, with the relaxed dress sense, mobile device, shorter attention spans, and a need to know now, also in bite-sized micro-learning chunks. This brings a sense of different ways of working and expectations and a wide range of learning requirements in our workforce. These learning requirements have to attract and develop new talent, ensure that we have business continuity as new talent on board and our senior workforce retires. We also provide support for teaching the next generation of our professionals. In this ever-changing world, we also have challenges that they need to face. Increased understanding of SAP software solutions, to reduce reliance on third-party consulting, effective use of internal subject matter experts. We also need to train our project teams and rely on a flexible, on-demand learning solution to prepare them for projects. Also to share experience with our peers around the globe, and also reducing the cost of lost revenue opportunity as a result of training time. Traditional event-based training is no longer sustainable as the main method of training. So moving into the Learning Hub professional. So there are a number of key features. The platform is based on our very successful SAP SuccessFactors learning platform. The SAP Learning Hub is a cloud-based solution on this technical of SuccessFactors learning. You don't necessarily have to subscribe to SuccessFactors learning in order to use the SAP Learning Hub. There are four main pillars or features of the Learning Hub. Firstly, we have the educational content. So the professional edition includes all of SAP's educational content, all of the manuals from our traditional classroom-based training, which are now available in formats. Many of these also have e-learning equivalents. As new or versions of applications are developed, the product developers also create early knowledge transfer content, and this is in the shape of learning maps. These are also available from our Learning Hub, sometimes before the product is actually on general availability. OpenSAP is SAP's platform for open online courses, and all of the SAP is also made available from within the Learning Hub. We also have a third-party partner, which is Bookboon, provides learning and soft skill training content. And this content is business and soft skill rather than pure SAP content, and it's available as a tile from the home page of the Learning Hub. So that's the first major component, is the educational content. We then move into social learning and learning rooms. So the SAP learning rooms are based on a technical infrastructure of SAP Jam. So this is a collaboration space. The learning rooms are also moderated by instructors, and they allow for interaction between any one particular group. The third component, the live system, is not part of the SAP Learning Hub itself, but is an optional extra. So this is the provision of training systems that support the exercises from the digital handbooks. With the approach of the educational content, our social learning rooms, so peer-to-peer, and also the live system access, we have the ability to access, learn anytime. So just going back to that live system access, so this is an optional add-on, it's an optional extra with an additional subscription cost, but it is only available if you subscribe to the Learning Hub itself. Okay, I'm going to now hopefully share my screen and move into a demonstration of the Learning Hub for you. Okay. I hope you can all now see my screen. Lee, can you see my screen okay?
Yes.
That's great, thank you. Okay, this is the home page of the Learning Hub, so I just have to be mindful of time. We only have 30 minutes for this home page. And as I mentioned before, this is based on the underlying technical structure of SAP SuccessFactors. What we see on the home page are a number of tiles, and we have the ability to move these tiles around, and we can customize the home page to our look and feel. There are a number of keys here. So we have a welcome room. There's also an introductory YouTube video. We have the capability to add to remove tiles. I mentioned before about the soft training. This is on the right-hand side at the moment of my screen. This is the Bookboon library. So Bookboon provides us with its P content. So this is related, and we have a full catalogue that we can browse to find relevant titles to our interest. So typically, the soft skills are available in a PDF format that can be downloaded. So there's a variety of titles from, as I say, business-related, even some recreational sort of hobby-like material as well, such as Photoshop, and of course office products, etc., so on and so forth. So this is the Bookboon. So this is included in the description, soft skill content. Okay. Very important tile in the middle here is access. And see here is that we have URL links to my learning content, so my personal learning content, my personal learning rooms. So these are the first two links. And then we also have access to the entire Learning Hub catalogue. So the learning content, the learning rooms, the live access portal, and content catalogue. So as well as the links from the Access tile, on the top left we also have a menu, which I hope you can see, starting with Home, Learning Rooms, Content, and Learning Rooms. Before I go any further within the Hub, I just want to cover the Learning Content Catalogue. So a very good place to start in terms of familiarization of the content available in the Learning Hub is with the Content Catalogue. So we can download this. This is a CSV Excel file, and here's one I prepared earlier. But see, we have all of the content from the in the Learning Hub, which we can then filter to support our navigation and mapping interests. I should also say that SAP Education also offer mapping and curricular services to support you to plan, prioritize, and understand the learning paths available within the Hub itself. We use the Learning Hub to follow and support our professional tracks. So all of the content that we may have traditionally studied in a classroom-style environment is now available through digitized learning. We advocate that this would be very much recommended as a blended approach to our learning. So see customers that have Learning Hub subscriptions but do still partake in that traditional classroom model. So very much about a blended learning style and approach. I should also mention about offline content, because this is always a question that comes up. So from the catalogue, we have an offline available column. So we can filter see what is offline available and what is not. So what does this mean? So there's an application that we can download to devices, and this is the SuccessFactors app. Once we have the connectivity, this means that we can view our Learning Hub through device, so through tablet, for example, and where we have the download available option, this means that we can actually take that content offline. Okay, so all of the content is available to device, but only certain titles can actually be downloaded and taken as offline content. Okay, so in the Learning Hub, we have 6,000 titles and also multiple languages that are supported. Perhaps, to work with the catalogue, if I just want to perhaps run this in my English language, to have a discrete list in English. So I've now filtered out all of the languages, and we can see the course codes, and these course codes also hold true to that traditional classroom model. Okay, so that's the catalogue. Going back into the Learning Hub. Okay, so going to go into middle section, so into the actual learning content. So this is taking me to all of the catalogue items. Okay, and now I'm able to perform a catalogue search. Okay, brilliant. So if I knew the course code, I could simply type the course code or the title into the search field, as you can see currently highlighted. But what I could also do is that I could narrow my selection and areas of interest by using the menu. There are no deliveries available in the Learning Hub. We have ebooks, e-learning, learning maps, and also the learning rooms. So I think the last count, I think there are approximately 64 learning rooms. So this is the peer-to-peer collaboration using the SAP Jam infrastructure where we can collaborate. So in terms of the Learning Hub approach, firstly we have the content, so we self-study, we learn. Secondly, we have the ability to exchange with our peers, so to collaborate. And if you recall, these Jam rooms are moderated by an SAP expert. And sometimes, I'll show you a learning room example shortly. And sometimes they may have live sessions or video sessions. So these are active learning rooms. And you may recall that the third optional component is the live access. So the live access, which is a paid-for additional component, gives us access to a training instance which is, from a data perspective, aligned and customized to the particular course that we are following or studying. Okay, so as I say, we can use the search bar, or we could use the subject area and filter accordingly. So perhaps view all, go into the subject areas. If I'm interested in ERP, for example, I simply click on ERP. And my particular area of interest, perhaps financials. Okay, and now my discrete list according to the selection criteria, and now I have all of the content applicable to ERP financials. I could restrict this further, so perhaps I was interested in a specific level, so perhaps the academy course, consulting tracks, perhaps the Delta knowledge. We have all detailed foundation and overview. What we also have is a color-coded key. So level one is an overview, typically, of fundamental concepts. Level is a full functionality overview, and level 3 would be detailed SAP exploration. So these are represented by the different tiles in terms of the colors. So with the level 1, the high-level overview, this is green. With the level 2, the full functionality overview, a maroony pink color, and with the third level, the detailed configuration, this is. You can also see from the titles or the icons that these represent different delivery methods. So the first one, for example, is an online course. This is also an online course. Okay, so, and you would also see handbooks or whether they were the learning maps. So the learning maps are the early knowledge transfer, the EKT, and this is from the product development team, the SAP product development team. So this is early knowledge transfer. So this is the Learning Hub directory. So we can launch the courses at any point from within here. What we can do is that we could assign a course to ourselves. So we could either run this immediately, so start the course, or we could assign it to ourselves. Okay, so from option, then we have more detailed about what the course represents. So what we have to do within the Learning Hub is pay attention to the detail in the brackets. So we can see with the second example, course is AC200, Accounting Customization 1, and the course code is AC200 in English, and then the reference at the end is the collection number. So the higher the collection number, the more recent the content. So we're looking for the highest collection number typically in relation to current technologies. Okay, so we can run the course at any time. We can start the course from the main menu structure, or we can assign it to ourselves. I'm now going to go to my own content. So we've been looking at the overall catalogue. I'm now going to go to My Learning catalogue. So if we assign anything to ourselves, it will feature in the My Learning catalogue listing. Okay, so now this is my own personal learning content. So again, we have the course level color key. Okay, so we can see here with the green, the blue, the maroon, pink, and the amber yellow, the overview, the foundation, the detailed, or the Delta knowledge. Okay, so I have quite a few in my list at the moment, but some different examples. So here's an example of foundation content. The green is the overview. And also we have the yellow, which is EKT. These are the learning maps, the early knowledge transfer. Okay. So let me just go into a couple to show examples. So I'm going to go into the first example, Accounting Customization 1. And I've been here before, so I have the option to continue the course. So it's bookmarked at the page I visited. Okay. So within a structure, there may be different topics. So I'm just going to go into the first one, automatic payments. If we had been course way through, when we come back to the bookmarked area, we'll see from the title page that the areas that have been completed have a check, they have a tick, so we can see where we are. Okay, so I'll just go into automatic payments. Okay, so we also find that there's we'll also find that there is voiceover in a lot of the schematics and the process diagrams, which I've just quickly forwarded. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to work out through the webinar. But there's a lot of voiceover as well. So this is an example of e-learning. Okay. So I have the navigation options at the bottom, so I can scroll back and my pages. And within the we also have some basic informal assessment quizzes. Knowledge. Yeah, okay, that's true. Brilliant. And there's also some feedback inherent in the course design. So also in the e-learning courses, we have a lot of embedded simulations. These simulations have been created with the SAP WPB toolset, the Workforce Performance Builder tool. So this is our accelerated document tool. We click to watch a demonstration, and now this is going to be this is a show me demonstration. But there are also examples of practice where you as the learner, the user, are engaging in the simulation and translating the fields and following the on-screen commands and instructions. It's traditional ERP, and I'm now within the simulation window of my course. Okay, so this is show me mode at the moment, but as I say, others are let me try, so practice. So this is an example of e-learning with simulations embedded within them. Okay. I'm also going to show you an example of Handbook. Okay, so back to my active courses, and this one, as you can see in the description, is a handbook. So to continue my course, so this particular style of handbook, just while it is known as a flip book. So with the flip book, with my mouse, I can simply through the pages. I even have a page sound effect. So this is a comprehensive manual, much as you would find within a traditional SAP classroom course, but of course in digitized Learning Hub format. So within the flipbook, I can zoom in. And of course, it retains my magnification setting through the book. So I can either use the on-screen buttons or my mouse or page up, page down cursor keys to navigate through my book. I can also add bookmarks. So we have some buttons at the bottom. We have thumbnails, so we have the ability to see each page. And we also have the ability to view our bookmarks and to create and set or to retrieve any previous. So for example, if I was interested in my line item substitution, I simply click on my bookmark and it's going to take me to that relevant page. So this is an example of a flipbook. So we've seen e-learning with embedded simulations and also an example of flipbook. Okay. I think the other thing that I just want to touch upon are the learning rooms. So if I go into my learning content and go to my learning rooms, this is the peer-to-peer collaboration area, which are moderated by SAP experts. So we can subscribe to any of the learning rooms within the professional version of the Learning Hub. Okay, so this is the learning room area. So these are now jam pages. Okay, so this has given me a summary of activity of all the learning rooms that I am subscribed to. If I want to go to a specific one, SAP Finance, for example. Okay, so now SAP Finance Learning Room. Here is my SAP expert. This is my moderator, and top I have areas of interest, and I also have a content folder at the bottom, which is going to show me the actual directory structure of this learning room. So this is where we can load documentation. This is where we can collaborate and engage in discussions peer-to-peer, or perhaps we're asking questions of our experts. So this is the learning room functionality of the Learning Hub. Just going to go home again. And to my learning content. So there are over 6,000 titles held in the Learning Hub, but obviously we have to consider that some of these are in multiple languages. And we have approximately 64 learning rooms now available through the Hub as well. I just wanted to mention that we also have learning journeys available from the My Learning Content section. So the learning journeys will help you to plan and understand the curricular structure and areas that we should follow for particular tracks. But again, SAP Education can support and assist you with mapping services for the portfolio. So if there was something we were particularly interested in, let's say I'm looking for HANA Finance, or Cloud Analytics example as an example. Okay, so it's now going to take us to the actual learning journey and any course requirements from a course code perspective. So we can plan and prioritize our learning journey within the Hub itself. Okay, so back to the home page, just a very quick recap. So from the home page, various tiles that we can customize. We have the ability to directly access our own learning content, our own learning rooms, or the entire Learning Hub directory, so the full learning content, the full learning rooms. Also the access, if we subscribe to this, to the SAP Live Access portal. And you'll recall that we started the session by discussing the learning content catalogue, and of course how we could use any of the course codes from that catalogue to support us to find relevant content and material. We looked at some examples. So of course we have the different delivery mediums, we have the e-learning, we have the handbooks, we have the early knowledge transfer learning maps, the different levels indicated by the colour icon status, and those icons also represent the type of content, whether it is the e-learning, whether it is the handbook, etc. Okay, with consideration to time, I'm going to go back to the slides now, back to the presentation content. Okay, so that was a very short but hopefully informative demonstration of the Learning Hub Professional Edition. Okay, mention again that we recommend that the Learning Hub is part of a blended learning approach that incorporates other products and services. From a summarization position, so key features and value, excuse me, so we have access to an extremely large digitized repository of SAP standard education content. This is all of the learning content that's available through SAP Education. The content is available to you 24/7, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have the ability to learn. We have the ability to operate. We also have the ability to practice within the live system access. Of course, this will increase our understanding of SAP software. This will reduce our training costs and also reduce reliance on third-party consulting. This supports us to prepare for digital transformation. You recall that we can access the content through device. Some of the content's also available to line on that device. The idea being that we increase our return on investment on SAP applications and the estate. It's a flexible solution that's available on demand and reduces time that is lost potentially to the model of classroom training. We have a number of customer references. You may see some of the brands here, very well known. And also the Learning Hub has received awards from the ZAR Star Award and also from the Brandon Hall Group. So, excuse me, the presentation content is available in the PDF, and I've also included a little bit more detail about the education content, so the learning rooms, and also the live access model as well. Robin, over to you.
Thanks very much, Peter. Yeah, so the whole aim of this introductory webinar to the Learning Hub is just to let everyone know that we do actually currently have a special offer running for our UK and Ireland SAP user group members. So these licenses usually directly from SAP for a professional edition license would cost you just over £1,800. But as a member of the user group, you are able to purchase these licenses at £650. Now, the only way we can do this is through the power of our community. So we do need to have 300 licenses from all of our members. Now, I know this may seem like a lot, but obviously to let people know, we did run this offer previously. So this was run last year, June, July, for delivery in August, and we actually surpassed the target. So that's why we're running this again. And this is actually available until the 24th of March. Now, for those of you who are listening who are not members, we do also have a membership bundle. Now, included in that membership bundle, we do have a 12-month user group membership as well as one license, and that's only for £1,500. And any additional licenses that you purchase, we would be offering to you at the £650 rate. So obviously, the more you buy, the more you save. So with this, you would get up to a 64% discount if you did purchase it through through the user group. If you'd like any more information, please feel free to contact us, as obviously we've got the email address there. And that is it for us, I think. What we'll do is open the floor to questions now. Peter, I do have a few questions so far. The first one is, I'm interested in HANA certification paths. Can the Learning Hub provide the necessary courses to follow within the Learning Hub to prepare for exams?
Thanks, Robin. The answer to that is yes. So as courses are released, they're made available in the Learning Hub excuse me, pretty much immediately, and also in the traditional classroom model. So we've seen the learning maps. So of course this provides the course structure and the different components in terms of the course codes. So yes, to answer the question, this provides us with the HANA certification path, and of course the ability to self-study, live system access to prepare for certification tracks and related exams.
Wonderful. And then we also have a second question, and it says, does the site include training on all aspects of SAP, including self-service portals?
So the Learning Hub includes all of the SAP education learning content. So I'm not quite sure what is meant with the self-service portals. Are we referring to sort of employee self-service, manager self-service, etc.? So if so, the answer is yes. So if we, as SAP Education, have standard training, then that content will be included as well in the professional edition of the Learning Hub.
Fantastic. Right, so I'll just leave another minute or so just to see if any more questions come through. If anyone from the audience has any, oh, there we go, there's one that comes through. I'm interested in SAP PM e-learning. Could you tell me how many of the 6,000 documents are related to this area of SAP, please?
I'm afraid not off the top of my head. Obviously, we'd need to look at the catalogue and work out the response to that. Robin, do we have the name of the individual that raised the question? Can we get back to them? Is that possible?
Yeah, that's not a problem at all. We can get back to them.
Okay. I should mention as well that sometimes the Learning Hub has additional information on areas that perhaps where we don't have the formal training. So I mentioned the EKT, the early knowledge transfers, the learning maps. So this is information directly from the SAP product development teams. So in certain cases, we can have additional information in the Learning Hub that is available to you that is not available elsewhere. And also you recall that the Learning Hub also contains all of the open MOOC content as well, so the Maths Open Online course.
Okay, and on that note, I think we're actually we'll actually overrun a bit now. So we're going to leave that presentation there. If there is any questions, if anyone wants to get hold of us, we'll try and answer them if you haven't had a chance to do it on the webinar. All right. Well,
okay, thank you very much.
Thank you to you too, Peter.
Thanks, Robin. Thank you, everybody. Have a good day.
Thanks, everyone.